Morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Thank you guys for kicking off a new week and kicking off Monday morning with me here. I'm, of course, Jason with Winning Bets, giving you guys some free sports picks every single day. Excited for today's show. Obviously, it's a new week. I always look forward to Mondays. I always look forward to looking back and what happened the previous week, win or loss. Obviously, it's a lot more fun when you go ahead and secured profit last week, which we were able to do. But I just love talking about the wins and losses. I think it's great to kind of talk about that. You get to remember the good times, but then also kind of just put those bad beats to the side and officially bury those bad beats and move on past them. So we'll, of course, do that on today's show. Then we've got Liverpool taking on Crystal Palace a little bit this afternoon here in the Premier League. And then, of course, we got a nice little baseball slate today. So we'll get out some baseball bets. And then I'm also going to let you guys know about ESPN fantasy games. We're going to go ahead and run back. We ran back the Pigskin Pick'em contest and the Eliminator contest. So stay tuned for both of those. But let's go ahead and, of course, make sure we do go ahead and let's kick it off with that recap of talking about last week and just seeing how good or maybe good it did. But yes, we had a nice week right there. So what do we get to do? We get to ring the cash register. Yeah, I like hearing that. And then also for you guys, gotta grab your money. Got to grab your money. I got the screenshot blocking it. Let's do that again. That was not cool. Not cool. There's the money. There's the money. Everybody wants to see, do you got money? Where's the money? There's the money right there. So I'd love to see that right there. What were some of those good wins and were some of those bad losses? But before you do that, let's, of course, talk about how much money we made. How about going 26 and 23 and plus 4.88 units? Yes. Plus 4.88 unit. That's good. That's absolutely good right there. And now on the year, you can see a lot of wins and a lot of losses. Coming close to pulling that margin back to being 50-50. And over on the year, now it's plus 80.41 units. That ring of that cash register. If you're new to the show, before we move on to those notable wins and notable losses, let's talk about why we have more losses than wins, but yet we have 80 units of profit to the good. Well, for about the first 5 weeks of the MLB season, I blindly bet every MLB dog. Didn't care who they were, didn't care where they were playing, what the name of the jersey was, just was throwing my money at it. Well, the dogs were not barking, and it was painful, and I lost 16.67 units. So that's why we've got a lot more losses, or now we've actually closed that gap, but that's why at one point we had a lot more losses than wins, and that's why we still have more losses than wins. But look, we're almost 50-50 right now, pulling it back. And as I mentioned, lost 19.67 units. We'd be over 100 units. We'd be already at 100 units on August 15th. So we're having a great season. Absolutely having a great season. And we'll look forward, John. We'll talk about some of those good wins, and then we'll catch some of those bad losses here. Let's start off with those good wins with that Mets F5 team total. How about that? How about going 3-1 on Mets F5 team totals last week? Started off with a cash Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Mets were off Thursday. That must have cooled them off because our loss was on Friday when they came back in action. And then we did not bet them on Saturday and Sunday. But the Mets were good to us. Going 3-1, take that all day long. You get 75% on any team. Yeah, sign me up for that one any day. How about the cash cow? Mitch Keller, he's back, baby. Mitch Keller is back. Now he's at 18 starts, and we've got 15 cashes in his 18 starts. We went and did a prop on his this week, what we had never done for Mitch Keller before, which was over on his outs prop. It was at 15.5. He had this amazing run of going 6-7 innings, and they put it at 15.5. You know how I know how we're back with Mitch Keller? Not only did we win that, my man won it on the hook. He went 15.1 innings, so won it on the hook. Mitch Keller gave us some love. Mitch Keller, thank you to Cash Cow. Appreciate you coming through for us there. What about Woo Kim? Yeah, you better drop him in the notable ones. Everybody knows we took Woo Kim to be the first round leader of, I don't even know what the tournament was this weekend. It was an absolute blind bet at 80-1. He had a share of the lead, so we eventually got paid out 40-1. At 81, that's my biggest hit. At 81, just an absolutely incredible hit. We'll do that again. We always accumulate these free bets. We will absolutely, do something like that again. That felt good. I was, tracking that on my phone. It was like, you're like watching him go to the leaderboard. You're like, is this dude actually going to do this? Like, he's going to do this? And then, sure enough, in the clubhouse with the lead at -8. Just absolutely incredible stuff right there. So look to do that one again. What about the Premier League? Had a couple good wins there. What about Manchester City? First half, plus money. Got plus money for them to score 2+ goals in the first half. Easy work right there. Do you guys see De Bruyne the second goal with the outside of his boot right at the top of the box, curled that sucker in. Well, De Bruyne is on a whole nother level than everybody on that pitch. But yeah, good work by City getting 3 goals in the first half and giving us a good plus money cash. And then I had to put in there the Brentford-Manchester United game over 2.5 because everybody knows I'm a Manchester United fan, and this gives me a good opportunity to just talk about how crappy we are. Are you kidding me? Losing that game 4-0 and just getting outplayed. Can't win a 50-50 ball. Just absolutely out-hustled. And what about De Gea? This guy is nowhere near a top goalkeeper. They've had multiple summers where they've had the opportunity to sell De Gea, most notably to Real Madrid, before they snatched up Courtois, and United always turned it down. This guy's not a top goalkeeper. I mean, that first goal he led in, that's like who he is throughout the season. You can always score on his near post. You can always score on this guy's near post, and then he'll have those howlers like he had this past weekend against Brentford. Obviously, the goalkeeping isn't why they lost that game. Like I said, they couldn't win a 50-50 ball. And once again, I said it after match week 1. I'll say it after match week 2. They have nobody to come off the bench and change the game. When they're down, 1-0, 2-0, obviously in this scenario it was 4-0. They've got nobody to come off the bench. Their best option to come off the bench is Elanga, like a 19 or a 20-year-old. That's not who you want to rely on. You know what they had last year? They had Cavani coming off the bench. They had a squad. They do not have a squad this season. I know Martial is injured, so maybe that hurts the squad depth a little bit. But even if Martial, when he comes back, that team's in trouble. They're in 20th place. I'm a fan of them. They're in 20th place. That's how bad they are. I said in the season preview they were nowhere near a top 4 team. That is certainly true. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be a top 16. I'm wondering if they can finish in the top half. Top half. Because you see it. You see it. They don't have the players to run Ten Hag's system. This is what happened when any league and any team, when you rotate a manager or a coach, whatever you call them in your league, every, let's say, 2-3 seasons, yeah, that guy wants to come in, implement his philosophies, trying to get his new players to come in. You can't bring in all new players in one off season or transfer window, so to speak. So, yeah, they're in trouble. They're in absolutely trouble. But, hey, we cashed in over 2.5. We cashed their first match against Brighton. Telling you right now, over 2.5 is going to be the play in Manchester United games. Over 2. They will be leaky as can be. Jade should be scoring. I think you can tack on both teams to score. But remember, like I said, if the odds are right, like why push it and tack on both teams to score? Just take over 2.5 because you see that in soccer sometimes where a team like a Brentford can just dominate. And now they don't concede, and now you're holding on both teams scoring over 2.5. So if you're comfortable with the odds, like I said, we were this scenario, and like I said, previously, just take over 2.5 and don't try and complicate it. So they're playing Liverpool, I think next Monday, or maybe it's Sunday, but I think it's actually a Monday afternoon game. They're playing Liverpool. I'm going to go over 2.5 in that one. Liverpool should crush Manchester United. That team is terrible, absolutely terrible. All right, let's keep going on these notable wins. What about NASCAR? We're going 4-2 in our NASCAR wins. How about that? We had a nice, solid weekend again in NASCAR, turning a good little profit. We had the guys that finished P1 and P2. Those were our reasons why we won. We had Harvick over Logano. We also had Harvick over, Byron. And then for the Christopher Bell one, the guy who finished in P2, we had him over Elliott, and we had him over Kyle Busch. Excellent stuff right there. Our 2 losses, unfortunately, were Bubba Wallace over Byron, and then we had Larson over Elliott. But yeah, went 4-2 in NASCAR, turned profit. That was a good race. Good race in terms of turning a profit, not a good race in terms of generally watching. There was action throughout the field, but Richmond just gets long green runs. We've seen now with this next gen car, the worst races are on short tracks. Richmond is certainly a short track at 3/4 of a mile, so maybe not the greatest of all race, but we pulled in some profit. That's what I'm talking about. What were some of the notable losses, though, from last week? How about Villa? How about Villa on that clean sheet? That was disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting what happened. Yeah, we lost it on an own goal around minute 89. Everton plays a ball into the box. Digne is right there. He's on the dude. And instead of clearing it, maybe with his right boot, could have just stuck out his right boot. He is a left-footed player. I'm not sure what he kind of does. The ball kind of gets on him. Anyways, he kind of falls to the ground, and the ball just goes in that tough right there. That would have been a good plus 145 cash. And to have it come that late in the game on kind of that sloppy of an own goal, tough beat right there. We also took Holland to have 2+ goals in that match against Bournemouth. Said it. That's always the risk with Manchester City. The goals can come from anywhere. And it's a little bit unpredictable with that. That being said, I obviously thought Holland would get 1 and then a chance to get 2-1 on your money at plus 195. I thought it was worth a go at it to see if he could get 2 against a team in Bournemouth that they were absolutely going to dominate, and they did dominate. DraftKings had the ball possession spread at minus 47. That's how much of a domination City was going to put on them and did put on them. Unfortunately, Holland, though, did not find the back of the net anytime. What about our K props? Went 1-3, technically 0-3 because the win was in a parlay, so we really lost it. But yeah, just brutal stuff right there. Absolutely brutal stuff. We lost Braxton Garrett on an over. We lost Zach Gallen on an under. And then while we did hit Lynch, that's the one, I call it 1 out of 3, but in terms of like winning a bet, no, we did not win a bet because we took Daniel Lynch under, but we put it with Eric Lauer under, and unfortunately Lauer went over. So tough week there in the MLB K props. And then what about F5 team totals? Boy, remember on last week's recap, we went 11-5 on F5 team totals, which is by far, I think, my strength when in the MLB. And last week we went 4-6, and that excludes the Mets going 3-1. So we're just focused on what did we do outside of the Mets. Went 4-6 in those F5 team totals. And look on the bottom there. We had so many arbitrage opportunities, couldn't even spend all the money. So we'll take $8 into this week. And we earned a free $25 bet last week that will roll into this week as well. So, hey, turning 4.88 units of profit. Absolutely love that right there. Got some free bets, got some free money to use this week. That, my friends, is an outstanding week. Hit that like button if you went ahead and joined me on those profits last week. Hit that like button and let me know. Let's get that cash register one more time. And let's also, just because money's so daggone great to see, and that's what we're all here for, is to collect some money. Collect it. Just collect it right there. Collect it right there. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move this show along. Let me jump in the comment section. Say good morning to everybody. I've already said good morning, but if there's anybody who dropped in a comment, let me see what we've got right here. We got Chewy. He says he's super. I'd love to hear that. Cha-ching. Yeah, baby, love to hear that. And I actually moved the volume down. I was on the treadmill last week watching these shows. I love to, watch them and try and see where maybe we can make improvements on the show. And I'm running, and it gets to the cha-ching, and it's like, cha-ching. It's like, holy hell. So hopefully I got that. Hopefully I got the audio level dialed back a little bit, and those cha-chings weren't as brutal on everybody's ears. So what's going on, YouTube? Good morning. You got a blue. Well, let's circle back here on the MLB questions. Grind Time says, "Are you doing any football? Are you doing any football? Not preseason football, of course. NFL ramped up, from week 1, right from the jump, but." No preseason NFL football. But how about Bills Mafia, though? Getting the win this weekend. Bills Mafia, baby, getting a win. Resting our starters and still pulling out a win. So love to see that right there. All right, let's go ahead now and talk. Let's talk about first. Let's do this NFL Eliminator contest. Let's go ahead and throw these graphics up. We're running it back from last season, guys. I love this game. ESPN, they obviously call it NFL Eliminator. Other sites call it Survivor. But this is where each and every single week you just pick one NFL team to pull off a win. Don't have to cover a margin. Just say, I think this NFL team can get a win this week. They get a win, you're back next week and you're picking another NFL team. The only rule is as you go through the weeks, you just cannot repeat an NFL team. So once you use a team, that's it. So you got to use another team. I love this. I love it. I've lost 2 times doing this, and I've been doing it, since my early 20s, whatever. So, call it 20 years, 15, 20 years. I've lost twice in week 1. So there are no locks. There are absolutely no locks. I lost twice in week 1. And last year, I think I made it to around week 8 or so, before I went ahead and lost, if I recall correctly. I think it was week 1 is when I went ahead and lost. I will say, don't sit there and say, let me either hold this team up till later in the season because, when I get to week 12, I still want to have the Bills available. It's tough. Just use them how you got them. The season will evolve. Teams will go through cycles where, somebody's good, somebody's bad. Just pick them how you think will win it. You start saving teams. I've seen that strategy, and I've seen that strategy burn a lot of people. So there's the group. There's the group name, and I'll give away $200 to whoever wins. $200 at the end of this contest to whoever can win. We'll, of course, use the tiebreaker on ESPN. They use a tiebreaker, the greatest total margin of points. So while you're not picking against the spread, that is the tiebreaker. So 1 week, if you get a team that obviously wins by 20, well, you're sitting pretty good because now you've got 20 points in your tiebreaker. So that'll be the only scenario in which we use the tiebreaker is if the people lose on the last week that are still alive. Otherwise, we'll just give away $200 to whoever can make it. Whoever can make it. Drop your favorite team in those comment section, guys. Let me know who your favorite team is. Just kind of curious to see, who you guys root for. But yeah, I love this game. It's by far my favorite, fantasy, quote-unquote fantasy game. So I love that. So we'll, of course, run that back, $200 to the winner. And then let's also do the Pigskin Pick'em group. And we absolutely love this one. Last year we did spread and straight. I just did spread this season. Let's just see who's the dog out there. Let's see who can correctly predict more games against the spread. So we'll only do the spread this year. And I'll just do $25 a week, just like we did last week. Whoever can win, $25 each and every single week will go to the winner. We will, of course, use their tiebreaker, which they use total points in the Monday Night Football game. If that is freakishly a tie, then we'll roll the $25 in the next week. But I think with the tiebreaker, we should be giving away $25 every week. But you never know. Maybe we'll have a $50 week or maybe a $75 week as we move throughout the season. But I doubt it. Actually, this one's tough. This one's tough. This one's tough. There's weeks where I've had, 4. There's weeks where I've had 10. NFL's tough. You're sitting here. You guys are watching this. You guys know how tough the NFL is, and picking against the spread is tough. So, all right, get in those two groups. If, these screenshots aren't making all that sense, or you need a little of extra help joining the group, in this video description, or actually not right now. I think I forgot to put it in it. When I finish this live broadcast, in this video description, I'll drop in the link. So you can just click on the links and it'll hop you right over to ESPN, and then you can join those groups. So get in there. Tell your buddies to get in there. Again, giving away $200 to the winner of the NFL Eliminator contest, and then we'll give away $25 every single week to the winner of the Pigskin Pick'em contest. All right, with that being said, let's jump in this comment section, see what we've got going back on. What's up? Iceman. I love this guy right here. Rubble's here. Rubble, my man. Rubble. Where is the Nerfies? We'll get to that on the payoff pitch, of course. We've got YouTube coming in here with a nice little parlay. And then Fly Eagles Fly. Love to see it. Fly Eagles Fly. Interesting division. Obviously a division outside of the Giants, this season, and Giants at least for the past couple. It's generally been a toss-up division. That one's tough. I don't believe Cowboys are, far and away the better team. I think the Eagles and Commanders they're all kind of right there. I think that's a good three-way division. So, all right, Fly Eagles Fly. Love to see it right there. All right, let's keep on going right now. Let's go ahead and get into our soccer bet that we're going to go ahead and roll with today. Tweeted this one sometime out over the weekend. I like Liverpool on the clean sheet. I've watched each of these teams' first games. Crystal Palace was terrible against Arsenal. Absolutely terrible. At home, season debut, home debut, and that's how you come out. Of course, they were better in the second half than the first half. They were terrible in the first half. They were a little bit better in the second half, but that even that second half performance, which people say, well, Crystal Palace was better in the second half. That second half performance still can't get a goal past Liverpool. And I understand Liverpool's not going to have Kanate, and they're also not going to have Matip more than likely. But you know who was the center back the last time Liverpool won the Premier League? It was Van Dijk and Gomez. So it's going to be Van Dijk and Gomez again today. The same guys that won the Premier League title a handful of seasons back. I got no problem with Gomez. I got absolutely no problem with Gomez. So, yeah, I love Liverpool here on the bounce back. You're getting them, obviously, at Anfield, coming off a performance in which they were only able to get 1 point. Liverpool's certainly going to get 3 points. So if you wanted to tack on a win to nil, cool. I'm comfortable with minus 124, just like I'm comfortable with sometimes just going with over 2.5. Don't need to make it a parlay if I'm happy with the odds that I'm getting. I'm happy with minus 124 for Liverpool to keep the clean sheet. So look forward to watching that game. I will probably jump on live, whether that's TikTok live or YouTube live, and do something like a little halftime reaction. And hopefully our bet is still alive. So anybody who's new to soccer, Liverpool in the clean sheet means we're banking on Crystal Palace not to score. So if your book calls it a Crystal Palace team total under, great. If you've got the actual term of clean sheet, then okay. But basically we're saying Crystal Palace will not be able to get a goal today. Look forward to watching that. And then again, like I said, we'll jump on sometime during halftime, and we'll do some like little reaction there. I obviously can't wait to watch it. I'm a big soccer guy. So, all right, let's move it over now to the baseball bets, and then we'll jump into the comment section, seeing some baseball bets and questions come on in, so we'll get to that. We'll go ahead and do this Braves and Mets F5 over 4.5 at minus 104. Braves and Mets F5 over 4.5 at minus 104. Then let's also do the Orioles F5 team total over 1.5 at minus 150. I'm telling you right now, this has come down. It was at 2.5 earlier, and I had my kids around, and I couldn't quite buy it, and subsequently then I couldn't quite tweet it. It was about 20 minutes later I finally had a second to buy it and then tweet it, and it fell to 1.5. This goes to like minus 140, minus 135. I'm going to go in for another unit. Orioles are hot versus left-handed pitching. They've already cashed this bet twice this season against Kikuchi. Now they're seeing them for a third time. Yeah, keep yeah, all right, public. Keep taking the under. Keep taking the under. You've already done me a favor, and now I don't need 3 runs. Now I only need 2 runs to get the guys. Keep doing me a more favor and give me a better return on my investment. I'll go back in for another unit. I will absolutely go back in for another unit. As for more justification for this Mets-Braves bet and this Orioles bet, you can come get it on the payoff pitch live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time today. It's live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time is where you can find the justification. It's called the payoff pitch. It's right here on this YouTube channel with myself and the Hockey Squirrel. All right, with that being said, let's jump into this comment section. I'll toss both of these bets up for anybody that may just be, I don't know, just getting here and hanging out, which I appreciate you guys getting here, hanging out, kicking off a new week with me here. Kicking off. Let's scroll up to this one here. YouTube says, good morning. Good morning to you, my man. Good morning to you. Any parlay in the MLB? Yeah, I think it's a time of season where you can start to do some parlays. You guys saw, what was it, on Friday's show? We did two two-legged money line parlays and went 2-0. So I'll have them on the payoff pitch. I will have them on the payoff pitch. Then we've got Grind Time asking about football. We've got the Rebels comments. All right, you got another one here. He took Mookie Betts, Bilbao, so he's in La Liga, Juventus, Liverpool, all on the money line in a parlay. I'm not a big soccer money line guy. Obviously know who Liverpool's playing. Think they'll win. I don't know off the top of my head isn't Juventus playing Sassuolo? Sassuolo scored a lot of goals last season, if I'm recalling who they're playing. And Bilbao, I couldn't even tell you who they're playing. Oh, BetUS. That's not Mookie Betts. That's Batists. That's also in La Liga. I've read that as Mookie Betts because you were asking me a baseball question. So you got a nice 4-legged soccer moneyline parlay. Good luck, man. That's tough. I think money lines are hard in soccer, and you're trying to do 4 of them. I wish you good luck. I think let me see. All right. Now you got me curious. I just love soccer. I mean, it's my favorite. All right. So we've got Juventus was right. I was right. They were taking on Sassuolo. That's going to be sweaty. I mean, they don't have Dybala, although Sassuolo lost that guy that went to West Ham. That's going to be tough. Bilbao's at home against that team. They're terrible. And Betis is against Elche. Yeah, they're one of always the worst teams in La Liga. All right, I like it. Go ahead and get it cash, man. I like it. What time is the payoff pitch? Live, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Live, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on this YouTube channel. Right here. Appreciate the question. Saints. Grind Time rolls with the Saints. Who dat? That's an interesting team right there. I mean, I'm going to probably be on the Falcons in week 1, not from like a money line perspective, but like in that Pigskin Pick'em contest. I'll take Falcons into points because Jameis Winston could throw 3 touchdowns or 3 interceptions. So I'll take Falcons into points. I'm not hating on you being a Saints fan. I'm just Jameis Winston. Yeah, I'll go ahead and sign me up for the Saints or the Falcons in week 1. Twins lock of the day for YouTube. They are trying to rack my brain. They are playing against the Royals with Bubik on the mound. Yeah, sign me up. I agree with that. A lock for me. No. Got to go for it. Go for it, my man. I'm rooting for your 4-legged parlay. Absolutely rooting for your 4-legged pay. All right, let's go ahead and add some more baseball bets to this. Well, we've got 2. We've got the 1 soccer bet. I'm going to add a couple moneyline parlays, as that question was. Probably going to have, it's looking like about 5 bet total today in MLB. I'm waiting to see if this one line is going to cooperate for a K prop, even though K props may not be treating me well. Apparently, like punishing myself. I like betting in the good spots. That's why every night, whether I have a good day or a bad day, like I can go to bed. It's not fun going to bed after a losing day, but at the end of the day, like you can lay your head down and be like, well, I bet in a good spot. It just didn't work out. Like you bet in a good spot. So that's probably why I'm going to do another K prop, even though they haven't been going my way, large in part this MLB season. I still feel like I'm betting into good spots. So I'm just waiting on one line to be a little bit favorable to me there. So, all right, guys, that's how we'll do it today. Appreciate you guys, again, kicking off your morning with me here. I greatly, greatly appreciate you guys kicking off your morning with me here. The next time I'll see you guys is at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on the payoff pitch. Let's talk some baseball. Good baseball slate. Let's add some bets to this. Let's have ourselves a good day. Enjoy it, fellas. See ya.